Shall I start, ma'am?
Yeah, sir, you can start now. Sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, my dear students. You are all warm welcome to the biological session. Today, what we are going to discuss, part 2, population and organisms. Here, what we are going to discuss, first of all, already we studied abiotic factor. What are the abiotic factor already studied? Will you please? You know about that climates such as this temperature, pH, soil pH, and the next one is what are the soil organic matter, and responsible for the organic already in our abiotic factors such as regulator, a conformer, and partial conformer. These are all already we discussed. And then next thermoregulation. Okay, what is my migrate, and then suspend. That things also already we discussed. And the next subgetting environment. Environment is also a very, very important factors, abiotic factor for the living organisms, such as the climate, microclimate, and what are the habitat and also climatic zones also already we studied, isn't it? And then atmosphere. Atmosphere consists of already in our, there are so many layers there, particularly troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. Last class we have discussed. Okay. Today we are going to talk about the remaining portion, particularly fire. Fire is also one of the important, what is it? A physical component. So the fire has a marked effect on the physical environment through the removal of the plant cover, burning of litter, mass present on the soil surface, and loss of nutrition due to the volatilization. Okay, the fire already in our body. It is also created in ancient ages. They created with the help of the stone only. Nowadays there are so many ignition temperature also created by the so many things is there. Okay. So it is also very, very important. It is the last factor. Okay. Without fire, okay, there is nothing but the temperature. We will not do any work. Okay. In our body also, it released in the form of, what is that? Heat. Heat is also one of the energies. The fire is also one of the energy. It emits a lot of energy. Okay. It can help all the surrounding what they are having, isn't it? That is the things. Okay. Go to the next heading is very, very important, my dear student. In this part, you must note it down. So, populations. What is meant by populations? Already you know but what is meant by population, what is meant by density, what is meant by demography. Okay, tomography. So these are the things already you studied. The population is nothing but it is a grouping of similar individuals. Similar individual means what is that meaning? Take an examples, human population, isn't it? They are all living together in a particular area, and also there is a particular space. Okay, it may be measured a kilometer or meter or area, just as like as a tropical region, subtropical region, and also that things. Okay, see here. The population, it is a grouping of similar individual in a particular geographical area or a space is called as population. Okay, so this is very, very important. For example, the population, it may be vary, depends upon the rural or urban or city or metropolitans, and also country wise also it may be differ. Okay, population density. The different population of the same organism present in a particular geographical area are called as local populations, otherwise called as demise. Okay, different population of the same organism, different population of the same organism. That is very, very important. What is by different population? Okay, different population. May take an examples of any one of the urban. Take an example, Madurai. Okay, high number of peoples they were living together. So many peoples are there from North Indians, South Indian, and also rural area, rural people is also there, isn't it? Present in the particular geographic area are called as local population. That is, depends upon the food or shelter or job or whatever it may be. They may be lived together. Okay, so that area is called as populated area. Okay, take an examples of hills. They will not like that, because even the 1 kilometer, the percentage of the peoples will be very less. Okay, that is called as local population. Local population is nothing but the different population of the same organism present in the particular geographical area are called as local population, otherwise called as demise. A local population adapted genetically to its particular environment, it is called as ecotype. This is also very, very important. What is by ecotype? Sometimes they may ask the question in NEET point. The local population adapted genetically. Why they are adapting? Because our father or mother or grandfather lived there, that's why the generation wise, they are all adapted in the particular ecological aspect. Okay, see, the local population adapted genetically to its particular environment is called as ecotype. Okay, so this is the important one. Here, sometimes they may ask the question, what is the meaning of ecotype? So many times they ask the question. Ecotype is nothing but a local population adapted genetically. That is very, very important. To its particular environment is called as ecotype. Ecologically adapted. That is very, very important. Okay, so father, grandfather, great-grandfather, again, the past generation as well as the future generation, and also now the generation also living in the particular environment. Such type of population called as ecotype. Taken examples in Ooty, Badgas, okay, Nepalese, okay, in the hills places, in some of the areas is also there. Okay, such type of peoples are called as what is a local population, particularly ecotype of populations. That is very, very important. What are the next ones? Majority of the organisms living in groups in well-defined geographical area and share or compete for similar resources, potentially interbreed and thus constitute a population. It is another way they are giving. What is the population? How it will be? Mostly, majority of the organism, taken examples of the plant or animal, so taken examples of living organism, such as a human being, animals, or birds, or whatever it may be. What will happen? Live in a group in a well-defined geographic area. Only take an example. A particular birds, it will grow. It will lives in the particular place only, isn't it? Already we discussed in the polar bears. What happened? They may lived in where, which area, the Arctic or Antarctic Pradesh. At the same time, the small animals such as small birds such as a hummingbird, they will not live in that particular area. Why? Because the atmosphere. Okay, not only that, and also resources. Main things. What is the resources potentiality interbreed? Okay, interbreed means already in one human beings there is a sexual contact. Okay, for their young generation, production of the young generation, and thus constitute a populations. Okay, which one is favorable for the what is the production of the young one? So these are the things. Okay, already we studied in the seasonal breeders. What are the seasonal breeders? Taken examples of dog is also one of the seasonal breeders. Okay, and taken cow, buffalo, whatever it may be in the that category in cat. Okay, these are all are considered known as what is that seasonal breeders. Why? Because they breed themselves or interbreed themselves only the particular season only. But human being, it is not like that. Every day or every years. Okay, so that is an example. Okay, go to the next one is they have given as an examples. Okay, see all individual of the common grasses. Take an example, common grasses, cynodon in a given area constitute populations. Okay, cynodon is one of the what is that grasses in present. What is that? In it's a population. Similarly, all pine trees occurring in a habitat constitute a population. Here they have taken two example. One is cynodon is nothing but the grasses. At the same time, a pine tree occurring in the habitat constitutes a population. It is also growing in the same area and same locations. Okay, because it is a lower a plant. This one is a higher animal, higher plant. Sorry. Okay. So these are the, but both are living together. Okay. That is very, very important, my dear. So next one. A group of individuals resulting from even asexual reproduction is also generally considered a population for the purpose of ecological studies. Already we studied how the some of the animals, some of the plants, they produce themselves without a fusion of the gametes. Such type of reproduction is called as asexual, absence of sex. Okay, so is also generally considered a population for a purpose of ecological studies only, because ecological balance is also maintained with the help of the reproduction part. Okay, ecological balance. Okay, and not only that, under ecological studies, how it will be grow, how it, what are habitat is there, what are the nutritive substances, how it will be reproduce themselves and also produce their offspring, that things also. And the next one is the natural conditions. We find population of variety of plant, about natural conditions. We find population of a variety of plants, animals, and microorganisms living together within a habitat. This is the another point. Take an examples. Forest. Okay. Forest already in our, but we studied what are the plants they are growing in that particular area, starting from the ground level only. Okay, grasses, above, shrubs, herbs, and also small tree, large tree, and also very large tree, like that. This is it. Animals take from the bottom to top level, and also microorganisms, no need to tell. Okay, so all the microorganisms, there are thousands of microorganisms. Wow, where is it? In the soil and water. Okay, and also these are all are living together. This is considered, each one is considered what is the population. Take an example, plants, grasses are one of the population, shrubs, very well, but there are so many varieties also there. Animals and microorganisms. Animal, you can take an example, deer, tiger, herbivores, omnivore, how, whatever it may be. Prokaryote, eukaryote, single cell or multi-cell, how, whatever it may be. All the animals living together in a particular area in naturally, they are all collectively called as population. Okay, sometimes they may take the census. Nowadays also they are taking. Okay, so census of the elephants, a tiger, a lion, or whatever it may be, like that. Okay, and microorganism we cannot be able to take a census because it's a we grow. Okay, we can approximately call 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 7. Okay, minus 7, minus 10, like that. Okay, all such population together constitutes a biological community of the habitat. This is called as biotic community. Biological community, otherwise called as biotic community, because all the living organisms are, what is that? Living together in the particular area, the particular environment, and also particular, what is that? Resources. That is very, very important. Okay. For example, some of the animals, they will grow in the under the water only. That is, it's one of a habitat. Okay. Some of them are amphibian nature. They may be grow in the both, they may live in both land as well as the water molecules. This is another one. Some of them are reptile. They can only traveling, and some of them are flying. Okay. So likewise, some of them are jumping and also like that. So these are the habitat. At the same time, resources, food also very, very important. Also shelter. These are the two things is very, very important. Where it is occurs, that is called a survival fittest. Okay. So then only the particular area it will be populated, because all the resources present in it, food, shelter, job, and also they are convenient to work or whatever it may be. Okay, so that is very, very important. The population of the different species are not capable of breeding with each other because of various type of biological. Example, breeding behaviors. Take an example, two animals, tiger and dog. They will not breed. That breeding behavior is differ. Okay, inability to form a fertile hybrid. This is also another one. That's each one it is related to the population only. Some of them are fertile, some of them are infertile. Okay, so these are, and also physical barrier. Example, habitat and geographical isolation. They can migrate from the one place to another place already, but for their food or any other shelter or climate or temperature, whatever. Climate means all those things comes under this category, isn't it? So physical barrier. Okay, they can migrate. Already we studied in the bats also. move from the Siberian to Rajasthan, isn't it? Likewise, it is at the population level, the natural selection operates to evolve the desired triage. This is the very, very important idea. Okay. Which one is operated? Which one is of natural selection? Okay. So these are all are adapted in the climate, food, or whatever it may be, natural resources. Okay, that is very, very important. And the next one is a set of local population connected by dispersing individual is called as metapopulation. See here, a set of local population. What is by local population? Already in our list, particular people living together in the particular area. Okay. And connected by a dispersing. Dispersing means what is that? The movement, moving of one place to another place. Take an example. In our peoples, our relatives in Madurai, some of them they move on to the Delhi. Okay. So moved population is called as metapopulation. Okay, see that the set of local population connected by dispersing individual is called as metapopulation. The particularly for their food or work or whatever it may be, whether it may be after marriage. Okay, and also the that is called as metapopulation. Okay, so this sometimes they ask the question, this part also assess and reasoning. Okay, so this is already a important part. Here you said note it down. Very, very important, my dear. Okay, a set of local population connected by a dispersing individual is called as a metapopulation. Metapopulation. Sometimes they ask the question, what is by metapopulation? Okay. So what is the next one? Ecotype and phenotypic plasticity. Another subheading has given in your book is sometimes they ask the type. What is by ecotype? Already we discussed. Phenotypic plasticity. What is by plasticity? See here, ecotypes. Okay. The variations produced among individuals of a species due to influence of local condition of a habitat that are collectively called phenotypic plasticity. What is that? Phenotypic plasticity is that. What is the meaning of that one? You know, variation produced among the individuals of a species due to the influence of local conditions of the habitat that are collectively called phenotypic plasticity. Phenotypically, the change occurs due to the environmental situation or local conditions. For example, you are in white in color. Okay. Then move on to the somewhere else. For example, Dharmaburi. Okay, Salem, Namak, like that, you know. After few weeks, for few months or few years, what happened? Your skin completely what happened? Change into black color. Why? Because the local conditions, temperature erosion. Suppose we are living in the, what is that? Hills places. What is that? You will become a more white compared to the normal one. So such type of changes, habitat, that are collectively called as phenotypic plasticity. Not only that, and food, and also suppose we are moving to the north side. Okay, Delhi or Mumbai or somewhere else, you know, your food habitats also changed. Okay, and behaviors and language, that things also comes under the addiction. Phenotypically, physical changes. Okay, they are all, what is that? A phenotypic plasticity. It results in the formation of ecotype. Okay, this is the main criteria or category of the ecotype. Already we discussed what is by ecotype. Ecotype or local populations of a species that are genetically adapted to a particular variation or environment. This is very, very important. Okay, this is the important point of the, which one, you know, ecotype. Okay, ecotype or local populations of a species, any one of the species, take an example, dog or any one of the tiger or whatever it may be, that are genetically adapted to a particular variation of the environment. Okay, suppose take an example of fish, the bond to C2 bond, whatever it may be. The same, the environment, it will be different. They differ in the morphological and physiological characters. That is the very important changes which occurs phenotypically. Okay, already I told you, they differ in morphological and physiological characters. Although ecotype of species differ genetically, the differences are only minor, so that they are infertility. So what is the meaning of this one? Infertility. Your color is white, already I told you. Suppose the color change. Okay. It is not a major differences, isn't it? It is not a major difference. It is a minor part. Okay. So that is the ecotype. See that once again I repeat for you. Ecotype, a local population of a species that are genetically adapted to the particular variations of the environment. They differ in the morphological and physiological characters. Although ecotype of species differ genetically, the differences are only minor, so that they are infertile. It will not inherited from the next generation, only up to the level only. Small changes only. Okay, it will not transfer to the one generation to another generation. That's why they told infertile. Okay, it will not segregate from the one generation to another generation. See here, next one is the transition area between two ecotype source. Transition area between two ecotype source, gradual change from one ecotype to another, largely due to interbreeding. This is called as ecoline. Suppose we are living in one type of ecosystem. Okay. And we are interbreeding. Let's take an examples. Tamil Nadu people, we went to somewhere else in north side, West Bengal, Nepal, somewhere else. They are getting married in that area only. So what happened? You will get the big change, isn't it? Because it genetically vary, isn't it? This is called as ecoline. This is called as ecoline. Don't forget, my dear. So this is called as ecoline. Okay. So sometimes they ask the question. Two things is there. One is called as ecotype, ecoline. What is the meaning of ecotype? What is the meaning of ecoline? Okay. So this is very, very important, my dear students. Don't forget. And without this question, it will not be there. So the that part is completed. So evaluate yourself. There are 5 questions have been given here. So here, first already we studied. We have to recall all the points. Basic unit of study in ecology is basic unit of which one? Study in ecology. Ecology means what is that? Basic unit. Population? No. Community? It will not come. Biome? It will not come. Which one is considered as ecology? Means the living organism and the non-living organism, isn't it? So the organism is the basic unit of the study of ecology. The first word has given is here. So it is very, very important. Okay. The basic unit of study in ecology is organisms. Take an example, whether it may be unicellular or multicellular. Okay, whether prokaryote or eukaryote, whatever, any one of the organism, it is nothing but the unit of study of ecology is called as organism. This is the first point. Second one is what is that? DAS is the most ecological relevant environment factor. Which one is very, very important? Ecological relevant. Light? No. Temperature? Must. Soil? No. And water. These are direct questions. Okay. DAS is the most ecological. Ecological means ecology denotes environmental factor, temperature, pH. Okay. That is very, very, temperature is very, very important. So the second is the correct answer. Third one is bats and mammals are. So already we discussed. These are the 4 things. Bats and mammals. Mammals, when the mammals comes, what happen? It comes under the it is known as. What is by regulators? What is by conformers? What is by cold-blooded animals? What is by ectotherm? So already we studied these 2 things. Already we omitted, isn't it? We omit because it will not come this way. Cold-blooded, bad is not cold-blooded. Okay. Mammal is not cold-blooded. Okay. Ectotherms. Ectotherms means it's a heat eliminated. That's exotherm, like that. Ecto, endo. Okay. So regulator, conformers. Which one is regulator? Which one is conformer? Okay. Conformers. What is the meaning of conformers? Conform is they cannot maintain or they can maintain their body temperature. Okay. They can maintain or they cannot maintain their body temperature. Dhanalakshmi?
Cannot maintain.
So which one comes here? Bad, it comes under the headings. Regulator or conformer?
Sir, regulators.
Regulator is the correct answer. Exactly correct. Conformer, it will not come, isn't it, my dear? Thank you. Okay, go to the next one is, which of the following statement is correct? Small animals have a low surface or area related to their volume. Already we discussed this point. Okay, it will come here. Low surface, not here. Large surface, isn't it? So that is very, very important. The technical word is also differ. Thermoregulation is energetically expensive for many organisms. Definitely it will come. Okay, thermoregulation is energetically expensive for many organisms. Okay, and the next one is, snail and fish go into hibernations. Fish, it will not go. Okay, snails it will go, but fish it will not go. Okay, hibernation. Hibernation is nothing but a prolonged period of sleeping. That is very, very important. So, and then the last one is, bacteria and fungi form thin-walled spore. No, thin-walled, no. There is a thick-walled spore. That is very, very much. Thin-walled means it's easily penetrated into the heat or temperature, whatever it may be. So, it is not a thin-walled, thick-walled. So, which one is the correct one, you know? So, second one is the correct answer. Go to the next one is, two species cannot occupy the same, what is that? Habitat? No. Two species, same habitat, it would be possible. Ecological niches. Size, maybe two or same. Photoperiod requirement, maybe. But which one is the differ here, you know, ecological niches. Two species cannot occupy the same ecological niches. That is very, very important, my dear. So here, you must note it down. A basic unit of the study of the ecology of it, that is called as, which one, you know, that is organism. Second one is, dash is the most ecologically relevant environment factors. Temperature, bats and mammals are, which one, you know? So it's nothing but the regulators. Which of the following statement is it's correct, you know? So which one, you know? So the thermoregulation of energetically expensive for many organisms, that is the correct one. And the last one, the two species cannot occupy the same ecological niches. Okay, my dear. Okay, we will pass on to the next important part, population characteristics. Okay, in this part, we should know what is meant by population, what is meant by density, what is meant by, what is it, natality, what is meant by mortality, okay, immortal, and there are so many formulas also there, and also carrying capacity, total fertility, replacement level, and zero population growth. Okay, so migration, okay, emigration, okay, that things we have to study in this part, my dear. Okay, already we studied what is my population. What is population? Population means already we discussed. Okay, population characteristics, how it will be. See, the population have a number of attributes. The size of the population for any species is not a static parameter. It keeps changing with time. Depends on various factors, including food, availability, predation, pressure, and weather. For example, take an example. Okay, my dear, take an example. See, so any one of the area, take an example. So, for example, bond or seesaw, whatever it may be. Take an example, any one of the seesaw. Okay, just imagine. Here, you can imagine there are so many animals is there. Okay, so many animals is there. In the bottom also, there are so many, what is that? A phytoplankton. Okay, just you put like this. Okay, there are so many trees there, and also another animals is also. See it. See here. So many animals. Take an examples of snake. Okay, and then amoeba. Okay, and paramecium. Okay, euglena. Okay, euglena is also there, isn't it? Just imagine euglena. Okay, likewise, isn't it? This is the second layer, and third layer you can imagine fish. Okay, fish. Okay, take an example, fish, and the upper part there is some trees, isn't it? Some trees, and also the take an examples of frog. Okay, We already studied, that food chain, isn't it? Food chain. Take an example, food chain. So like this. Okay. So what I'm asking here, so lower there is a producer. Producer is nothing but the grasses. Producer. Okay. Producer is nothing but the grasses. The producer was the food of which one? Grasshopper. Grasshopper. Okay. Copper. Grasshopper. Okay. And then frog. Okay. Take an example, frog. And then third one is called a snake. Snake. Okay. And the last one is called as eagle. Okay. Just imagine. Now, what I am asking, each and every tropical level, there is a particular living organism is there living together in grouping, isn't it? Suppose here the tropical changes is there. How it will be? Suppose it is depends upon their source, light, temperature, environmental condition. Likewise, here also there is a lower the bottom there is a temperature and light also vary compared to the middle one and also the last one. And already we studied photopic. Okay, a photopic. Likewise. Okay. Likewise, here also. So it is all these things, these animals, these plants and animals, whatever it may be, they are all depends upon the sources. Suppose, take an example, grasshopper completely nil. What happened? Grasshopper is not there. What happened? The producer, take an example, so grasses, it will be grow more. Okay. Any one of the tropical level organism or what is that? Completely absence. What happened? The food web or food chain completely lack. Okay, that is the things, my dear. Same process also that they are all living together. Each one is also food for the another animals. Okay, suppose any one of the food animals are complete. Take an example. Here the grasshopper is there. Grasshopper completely destroyed all the. Take an example here. Thousands of grasshopper is there. Here 2,000 of grass is there. The grasshopper completely eat it. What happened during the temperature or whatever it may be, and after the 2 months, what happened? The 1,000 grasshopper multiply into 10,000, isn't it? So 10,000 means they need more amount of food, isn't it? More amount of food. But here there is no food. So as a result, what happened? The grasshopper completely lead to death. Okay, without food or getting less food. Okay, so the changes occurs here, So what about the further one? Further, okay, the frog and snake and also eagle, they will not get the food properly. Okay, so suppose this is the first tropic level, you get the food from for grasshopper. Grasshopper eat the more amount of grasses. Okay, it will grow up to 10,000. So now the food for frog completely eat it completely. So the frog number is also increases. It completely decline 0. Here there is a 0. Here it is also 0. So the particular frog is also increased. Again, the frog is also eaten by which one? Snake. For snake number is increases. This one is come to 0 level. And finally, what happened? The eagle count will be high. So others also other tropic level, the energy sources completely what happened? 0. So this is a magnificent or changes occurs in the food chain or food web. So that's the things shown here. See here. See, including the food availability. Okay, predations, pressure, and weathers. Okay, suppose the grass is not grow properly without proper rains or water or any other climatic changes which occurs. What happened? The producer is completely 0 means what happened? Further cycles also completely what happened? Stack, isn't it? That is very, very important. So what the next one is called as density. What is the meaning of density? The size of the population is represented by its density. How will you calculate the density? The size of the population. Size of the population means, take an example, Madurai. The population is what is happening now? Higher than that of the Batlakundu, like that. Suppose Chennai higher than that of the Madurai. Take an example of Kolkata higher than that of the Chennai. Likewise, the population is represented, the density is represented, size of the population is represented by its Density means, you know what, but the people's all living together very high. Okay. Okay, go to the next. Density is expressed as the total number of individual percent per unit area or volume at a given time. This is very, very important. Already we studied. It's one of the great explosions takes place in which one in a population explosions also takes place in the year 1961 to 66. Okay. So what happened that time? Suddenly population is increased. What happened now? They need more amount of food, water, shelter. Okay. That things, and also even take an example of oxygen is also. Okay. So these are the, yes, that's the things here. The density is expressed as a total number of individual percent per unit area or volume at a given time. Given time, why, you know about that 1921, the population will be 30 crores. In Bharatiya song, 30 kodi Mugamudayal, isn't it? At that time, for example, I tell you. Okay. Now you can imagine how many? 121. Okay, crore. So likewise, see the duration of the 37 2023. So what are the difference between 100, near 100 or 95 years? What happened? See that a great population density is there. Okay. So these are all denoted by a density of the population. See here, you know about that. So this is our country, India. Okay, this is Australia. See that Australia, it's a very less density. In other hills places, take an example, skill say. Okay, in this one, America, Africa, and also Australia. See here in this area, Andaman Nicobar. Take an example in our country, in Tamil Nadu, India is there. Here Andaman Nicobar, the population density is very less. But in particularly in Andaman Nicobar, there is a capital is there. The capital, the population density is very high compared to the other area. Likewise, okay, my dear. So this is another example. See the density. See the 2013. This is the much. This much. Now 2020. See that 470 something. See how much difference here. There is a gradually increases. Okay, each and every year. Okay. So what happened here? Here what happened? They will get a what is that? Food or shelter or whatever it is in needable things, isn't it? But in this category, what happened? They need here they are eating 4 idli means, take an example here, only they will take only 2 idlis only, because the population increases. You will not get the proper food and water and whatever. You will not get the drinking water in pure form. Okay, we are what is that? We are what we are doing, we are sharing our food and shelter or whatever it may be. That things, it's very, very important in this part. Okay, my dear. Go to the next one. For example, they have given as an example. See, this is a very, very important. 50 individual of a tree species may occur per hectare. 1 hectare contains 50 individual species of tree, or 70 individual of grasses, cyanodon per square meter. Okay, see that 50 individual of tree species may occur per hectare only. Square meter means, you know about that. Square means it's only 1 meter to 1 meter, like that. How much is that? 70 individual of the grasses. You know the difference between these two. So the population size, more technically called population density, designated as N, capital N. Okay, that is very, very important. Need not necessarily be measured numbers only. Although total number is generally the most appropriate measures of the population density, it is in the same cases either meaning less or difficult to determine. This is another point. Only this is another point. See here, you must note it down how it will be differ. That suppose if it is a big tree, what happening? It will occupy the particular area only. Okay, 1 square of the places or meter. The small things only, cyanodon per grasses only, they can occupy millions. 70 individual they have told, isn't it? Suppose if it is more, what happened? There is no space, isn't it? Okay, that is it. May be exit or die, because they will not get proper nutrients from the soil in the particular square area only. Okay, that is the important. See here, I have chosen. This is considered as a grasses, isn't it? Suppose take an example, 1 square area. How much grasses is there? Suppose more grasses it present in the particular square area means what happened? No, that is a difference. So here also there is a trees. Take an examples. So comparison between the 1 square meter as well as a hectare, 1 hectare. So there is a difference in biomass as well as the nutritive substance. All of them, climatic changes, all those things are vary, isn't it, my dear? So that is the it's also selected for the another one. Okay. Here, how many grasses is there? Take an example. So here, how many trees only? See here, only 5 to 10. Here also 10 like that, isn't it? There is a difference. For example, in area, there are 200 Partenium plants. It's one of the weeds, seaweeds. Okay, comes from the where you know in Pakistan. But only a single huge banyan tree with a large canopy, stating that the population density of the banyan is low relative to that of Partenium, amounts to underestimating the enormous role of the banyan in the community. In such cases, the percent cover or biomass is a major meaningful measure of the population size. What they are telling, see here, the Partenium plant is a small tree, small plant only. Okay, banyan tree already, which one? It's a very large canopy. Okay. See, stating that the population density of the banyan is low relative to that of the Partenium amounts. Amounts means, see, this is the plant. This is the Partenium plant. You can see it anywhere in the roadside or whatever it may be. This is the plant. The number is very high compared to the banyan tree. Banyan tree means, what about which one is the banyan? Alamaram, isn't it? So the Bharti, so compared to these two, which one is high amount? This one is the Partenium is number will be very high compared to the Partenium. Which one, the banyan tree. Okay, so that is given here. So these are the differences between the these plants. Okay, Partenium plant, but only a single huge banyan tree with a large canopy. Okay, this is the single large tree means it can be 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter, 5 meter. But how many Partenium plant is there? See that more than 200 they have given. There may be 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 Partenium plant. They may be growing under the banyan tree also. Only one tree occupy 300, 400. So the volume of the Partenium plant, it will be very high. That is the reason. The Partenium amount to estimate the enormous role in the banyan in the community. Okay, my dear. So in such cases, the percent cover or biomass is the more meaningful measure the population size. So which one it has a high population size means the Partenium, it has a high population size compared to the banyan tree. Okay, my dears. Okay, so we will pass on to the next one is natality. It's a very, very important, my dear students. Without this question, there is no NEET. Natality is referred to the number of births. Okay, number of births. Okay, my dear, during a given period in a population. So take an examples already we discussed. 1920, okay, 30 crores. 1980, the 87 to 90 crores. 2023, 125 to 2030, 135. Okay. See that is called as natality. Natality means what is the birth rate? It will be increases even every year. So that is the natality refers to the number of births during a given period in the population. 10 year once we are taking census, isn't it, my dear? Why they are taking, how many new joining is there? How many are death? How many is the immigration is coming? What is that? Immigration is also there. How? These are the considering natality, particularly the birth rate. That is very, very important. How many people are newly added, new childs are added into the total population. That is very, very important. When the increase in the individual is expressed per unit time per capital, it is called as natality rate. Okay, natality rate is nothing but what is that? When the increase in individual is expressed per unit time per capital, it is called as natality rate. For example, if a bond there were 20 lotus plant last year and through reproduction, 8 new plants are added. taking the current population to 28. So we are adding the 20 plus 8 only, you will get 28. How will you calculate a birth rate? So see here, we calculate the birth rate as 8 divided by 20, that is equal to 0.4 offspring per lotus per year. So this is the one of the calculations. Sometimes they may ask the question in NEET point of view, my dear students. Take an example. They may give us a single bond. It contains 50 lotus plant, 50, what is that, fishes. Okay. Newly populated, otherwise called as, what is that, newly added. Okay. Which one you know? Again, 25. We can, how will you calculate the birth rate of particular offspring? How will you calculate it per year? Like that, they may ask the question. Sometimes per year they may ask, sometimes they may ask the question 5 years, 10 years, like that. It is a mathematical question, very, very important, my dear. Once again, for example, if in a bond there were 20 lotus plant last year, and though through reproduction 8 new plants are added, so 20 plus 8, 28. Now the current population is 28. How will you calculate the, what is that? Birth rate means you have to put the 8 is the new one, isn't it? 8 is the new one, divided by 20 is the old one. So you will get 0.4 offspring per lotus per year. This is the birth rate calculation method. Okay, my dear. This is also a very, very important. Natality, population size. Okay, so depends upon their natality and mortality. Immigration and emigration. We will see one by one in the next slides. See, this is another one. In a bond, say the calculation is also given here. In the bond, see 20 lotus plants last year, and though the reproduction 8 new plants are added, taking the current population to 28. What is the birth rate? So the rate that is equal to change in population divided by giving population, original population. Okay, my dears. So as a result, what happened? You will get it 28 minus 20 divided by 20. So 8 by 20 you will get 0.4. Okay, my dear. Just a minute. I will come. One second. Okay, my dear. So how will you calculate the birth rate? Just imagine the rate that is equal to change in population. Change in population, how much is there now? 8. Okay, 28 minus 20, they have given 8. So original population in the last year, 20. So 8 by 20, that is equal to 0.4. Okay, madam, this is the correct answer. See here, 0.28, it will not come, 0.8, it will not come, 0.32 is not come, and the last one is the correct answer. Okay, madam. See here, the birth rate is number of babies produced per thousands individual. This is another thing. Thousands individuals only they calculate a birth rate. It is distinct from the population growth rate, as it can never be negative where the letter can be negative. So always it will not come to negative. See that it is distinct from the population growth rate, as it can never be negative. Okay, it will not go to the negative where the letter can be negative. See, next one is determining the population size using the mark recapture method. Okay, sometimes they may ask the question, the determining population size, how will you measure? With the help of the method is called as mark recapture. Okay, mark recapture method. How it will be? See here, the ecologist cannot count all the individual in a population. If the organisms move too quickly or hidden from view, in such cases, researchers often use the mark recapture method to estimate population size. Suppose take an example of any one of the field or forest or whatever it may be. Number of animals is what is that? Gathering foods like that, you know. Suppose the researcher doing work on it. Okay. Which method they were used? No, the mark recapture method. Estimate the population size. How? See here. Repeat. Mark recapture. So this is the original population, isn't it? From this one, they were added 2. Now, again, it will be multiplied into like this. So this is the formula. So the n that is equal to number of, what is that? Number that is equal to M2 C2 plus M3 C3 divided by R2 plus R3. Okay, this is the formula. I cannot able to, I will explain next time. Okay, this is just to note it down, this one. Which method they were used for the determining population size? Population size was determined by the method is called as, what is that? Repeat mark recapture method. Okay, how it will be? See that ecologists already know about cannot count all the individuals in the population. The organism move too quickly or hidden from view. In such cases, researchers often use the mark capture. Mark capture means they may be food part. I mean fingerprint. Okay, likewise. Okay, and sometimes they may use the what is that? Yeah, fingerprint is very, very important. Fingerprint. Okay, see. Scientists typically begin by capturing the random sample individual in a population. Okay, approximately the particular area, number of animals, tiger or whatever it may be, maybe 100 or 10, maybe 20 ox, like that. Okay, zebra, like that they may be calculated approximately. Okay, so there is a random sample has taken, random. Okay, different field they have chosen and also select the random. Okay, the tag or mark each individual and then release it. With some species, researcher can identify individual without physical capturing them. Okay, they will physical capturing them means what is that? Capture the animals and collect the specimens. Okay, so that is the foot mark or size and head size and also feet and also what is that? Likewise, they will calculate. This is the another point. And the next one is very, very important. After waiting for a marked or otherwise identified individual to mix back into the population, usually a few days or weeks, scientists capture or sample a second set of individual. This is already, you know, but 10 days or 15 days they were. So already they put a small mark like this. After waiting for a marked or otherwise identify individual to mix back into the population. Usually a few days or weeks, scientists capture or sample a second set of individuals. The number of marked animals captured in the second sampling X divided by the total number of animals captured in the second sampling N should equal to the number of individual marked and released in the first sampling S divided by the estimated population size. This is the formula. Okay, my dears. So simply how it will be. Okay, see, this is the things. Okay, the number of marked animals captured in the second sampling. Second sampling, how much? This is unknown, isn't it? That's why they have given us X. The number of animals captured in the second sampling, that is denoted as N. So equal to the number of individual marked and released in the first sampling, that is called a sample S, divided by the estimate population size N. So you'll get the answer, how much is there, like that. Okay, my dear. What is the next one is mortality. Up to this level, we will finish it, my dear. Mortality, it is a very another important factors. Okay, mortality is the number of death in the population during a given period under the given environmental conditions. Given period means 2022, 2030, 2032, 2040, like that. Okay, how many animals are dead, or bats are dead, how many human beings are dead, census. Okay, death rate. That's why we are, what is that? Register the death and birth in the municipality. Okay, it is expressed as a mortality rate indicating the number of individuals dying over a time period. For example, if 4 individuals in a laboratory population of 40 fruit flies died. Okay, so how will you calculate the death rate? There is a formula is there, already we know a little bit up to the level of natality. See this, if 4 individual in a laboratory population, 40 fruit flies died during the specified time interval. So weak death rate in the population during the periods, how will you calculate it? See here, death rate, that is equal to big question mark. Given population, that is a minus a population is equal to 40. Okay, died 4. So 4 by 40, you will get 10. So that is equal to 1 by 10, you will get the answer. So this is much. So 0.4. Okay, see the next one is also, see another one. In a population of 6 fruit flies, 6 died. So death rate is 6 by 60. 6 by 61 by 10, that is equal to 0.1. So here option B is correct. So they told which one you know. Here is also same. 1 by 10 is equal to, what is that? 1 is the correct one, isn't it? Answer. See this one, 0.1. During the specific time interval, say a week, the death rate of the population during that period of 4140. Okay, 4 by 40, isn't it? That is the correct one. 4 by 40, 0.1 individuals per fruit fly per week. Okay, this is the exact answer for the question. Demographers means you know about the census analyzer. Usually employ crude birth rate and crude death rate. Okay, which are number of live birth and death per thousands respectively in the middle of the given year. For example, in the month of July. The differences between the number of birth and the death is the rate of natural increases. Take an example, birth rate is increases compared to the death rate. That is very, very important, my dear. Okay, my dear, we will finish it up to this level only. We will see the remaining things on the next class, my dear. Okay, so already you know what are the things. I summarize all those things. So what are the things already we discussed? You know, first of all, the population. You know, before that one, fire, and fire is one of the factors, climatic factors, otherwise called as abiotic factor. And population, what is my population? Okay, and also what is my ecotype? Ecotype is nothing but the local population adapted genetically. That is very, very important, my dear students. Ecotype. Okay, another one is also what are the example has given. One is called a synodon, and fine tree is also given. And then asexual reproduction is also generally considered as a population of for the purpose of ecological studies. Already you know what are the natural conditions, plant, animals, microorganisms living to the within a habitat. These are all considered in biological community. What is my metapopulation? Metapopulation is a set of local population connected by the dispersing individual is called as a metapopulation. It's also very, very important. What is my ecotype? Ecotype and also the phenotype plasticity, you must note it down. Okay, the ecotype or local population of a species that are genetically adapted to the particular variation of environment. Okay, that is called as ecotype. Okay, and ecoline, the transition area between two ecotypes shows gradual changes from one ecotype to other, largely due to the interbreeding. This is called as ecoline. Okay, so already we saw it, the things also, population characteristics, density is very, very important, and also how it will be measured. Okay, example has given, and square meter and hectare, the plant as well as the grasses also taken examples, and parthenium is also one of the plant, seaweeds, and huge banyan tree is also important. Population size, okay, it also depends upon the population size. Natality is nothing but the birth rate during the given period, and also the populations, how will you calculate? Natality rate is also how will you calculate? All those things already discussed. For example, 20 lotus plant, 8 is new, so total 28. How will you calculate? The percentage will be 0.4% of offspring per lotus per year. And then death rate, this is also very, very negative, it not comes. Okay, the population growth rate, as it can never be negative, that is very, very important. And population size using method, which one, you know, mark recapture method, don't forget mark recapture method. So this is the formula. And a random sample also collected by the scientist. Okay, and then And mortality is nothing but the number of death in the population during a given period under the given environmental conditions also there. So already they have given as an example. For example, if 4 individual in a laboratory population of the 40 fruit fly dies, so what will be? Okay, 1/10, you will get 1 only. So this is the correct one. Okay, and demographers. Okay, when they will calculate you the death rate? Just see here. This is very month of July. Okay, every month years there is a middle month. Okay, that is very important. So next carrying capacity, we'll see the next class, my dear. Thank you so much for the participation. Keep on practicing, my dear. So this is a vague subject, but in this chapter it's a very complicated only, but you have to go through it 1 to 2 times or 3 times, then only it will be better understanding. Okay, my dear. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ba.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.